Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining the Q2 channel partner webinar. We are really excited that you took the time out of your day to join. We've got a packed agenda and some great content to cover. I'm Rich Farbman, Vice President of Channel Sales for Perimeter 81. I'm joined by Boaz Avigad, Senior Director of Product Marketing. And as you will see, the whole theme and everything we'll cover today is about you, the partner, how we can enable and better support you to be successful with selling Perimeter 81. A few quick updates from Perimeter 81, some really exciting stuff since we last spoke. You may have seen it in some of the newsletters we sent out, but we launched two new significant partnerships here in North America, one with TD SYNNEX and one with Avant. These give us the opportunity and give you all the opportunity, whether you're an MSP, a VAR, or a trusted advisor, the ability to easily access the Perimeter 81 solution and be able to provide it to your customers and prospects. Obviously, we think we're great, we think we're special, but it's always exciting when we get recognized by outside sources, especially CRN, who is, from a partner perspective, the holy grail of where we all look for the leaders in this space, right? So being recognized as a Security 100 list for 2023 and a top partner program helps validate the work we're doing here. It helps validate all the efforts and resources we're giving to our partners, and we're really excited for that recognition. I'll talk more about this a little bit later, but we've made some significant updates to the partner portal, and I don't want to go too deep into it now, but stay tuned for some more updates there. And PAX 8 Beyond Conference, if you are attending, we will have a presence there. We are really excited to be launching with PAX 8 soon, and we will be at their conference in June in Denver. So if you're there, reach out. Let's schedule some time to talk. We're really looking forward to it. So this is something that if you're seeing for the first time, maybe the most important thing that you're going to want to listen to. No offense, Boaz. But we've paid, I personally, on a weekly basis, am giving out money to partners. We've paid nearly 100 partners the phase 1 certification spiff. So there's 3 different phases. Phase 1 gives you $100 if you complete our sales or technical certification. Phase 2, after you've completed phase 1, if you bring us a qualified deal registration, we'll give you $200. And if you go and you close that deal that you qualified with us and it's an accepted deal registration, we'll give you $300. All for doing things that we're going to help you do and enable you to do better. This is something that a lot of partners have taken advantage of. So if you haven't done so already, right after you hang up here, go get certified. If you don't know how to get access, you can access our partner portal via the Perimeter 81 website and easily access all of the things you'll need to take advantage of this incentive. Speaking of the partner portal, we heard your feedback, we took it, and we've made it better. So this is a screenshot of the certifications, both sales and technical. We've made great improvements so that you can see the courses you've completed. But most importantly, as you're taking the quizzes at the end of the modules, you'll be able to see what questions you got right and what questions you got wrong. And if you happen to get a question wrong, what the correct answer is. We're not just going to leave you blind. We want you to understand what the correct answer is. And so we give you that information now. We'll continue to iterate on the certification modules and continue to improve. But if you haven't already done so, this is step 1 in becoming a partner with us after you have an agreement or have access to us through one of the distributors, is to go get certified so you can sell and talk intelligently about the solution to your customers. Additionally, we are improving the partner portal and the marketing resources so that you will have easy access to case studies, battle cards, everything you need in order to present to a customer, whether that's a presentation or you need a case study or you need competitive information, we are revamping the marketing section of the partner portal so that you can easily navigate it and you'll have more access to more impactful resources. So coming soon, be on the lookout for this while you're in the partner portal. With that said, I'm going to hand it over to Boaz, and he's going to highlight some competitors that we run into, and you probably run into all the time, and how we are different, how we potentially sell against them, and how we navigate those conversations when we're in a competitive opportunity. So without further ado, Boaz, go ahead and take it away.
Thank you, Rich. Yep. So when we kind of look at the types of competitors, right, that we're meeting, there are four main types. And I'm talking about types of competitors because this space is really so crowded where you've probably seen, 10 plus different competitors and different opportunities. So instead of just covering all of these different competitors, which, we hope to do over time, just as a starting point, talk about the different types and how we address them, because the competitive positioning we take and the messaging in each one of these situations will be different. So we have kind of the old school appliance VPNs, right? The hardware that customers need to install in their data centers and branch offices, and of course, remote access through the VPNs. Then there's the cloud VPNs, ones that are hosted in the cloud, and typically all of the appliance VPNs out there have made that transition and have some kind of offering in the cloud. Then the next step is ZTNA, right? Not just the regular VPN connection with a castle and moat approach, but actually ZTNA that enables that least privileged approach and segments the network and adds additional capabilities that we will talk about. And lastly is the security service edge, or the SASE, the secure access service edge solutions that converge together a wide set of networking and security solutions, and really where the market is going to. So these are the main types of competitors that we will meet and you will meet out there. And let's see how we address the different ones. So first, let's see where we're kind of positioned in this ecosystem of different types of solutions. So Perimeter 81 is based kind of in terms of feature richness, right? We're beyond ZTNA. We are an SSE and SASE solution. We do not have all of the capabilities of SSE and SASE. We do have capabilities that will be coming soon. CASB, for example, is scheduled to be launched by end of year, but we definitely have a solution that goes beyond just the regular ZTNA offering. So how do we address the different types of competitors? How do we manage that battle? So for each one of these, we have specific advantages that we want to focus on, that we want to raise when we have a discussion in that competitive situation. If we are talking about appliance VPNs, then enabling direct cloud access really helps performance, right? And the need for remote employees to backhaul traffic through a database, through a data center or an office location, and then go to a cloud application adds a lot of latency. We offer direct cloud access where you connect to the nearest POP in our solution and go from there directly to that cloud resource. We have 50 POPs, which makes sure that wherever an employee connects from office or home in any location around the world, we ensure you have minimal latency and best performance with our backbone. Beyond performance, also security. Regular VPN appliances just connect; they don't have additional security such as granular access, microsegmenting the network and ensuring least privileges, device posture check, making sure the devices meet compliance, defined by the security, by the organization security team, context-aware access, time-based, location-based as well, and the zero trust architecture, the whole concept of making sure that employees connect to specific applications, implementing that zero trust where initially no one has access to anything, and then you still slowly start to build the permissions that you put in place, making sure employees get only the access they need. Visibility across all networks. So if you have several networks that all connect to that one big corporate network that we offer in our solution, you get visibility into all of that in a single pane of glass, and you don't have to go to different locations to view that. Enterprise-grade solution, SIEM support, IDP integrations with leading integrations out there, Scheme as well, and wide device support over iOS, Mac, Mac OS, Windows, Linux, Chromebook, and Android, and Linux. And it's a path to SSE, right? The whole concept of SSE and SASE is really catching on. And when customers invest in this platform that we're offering, it's a secure network platform, it's beyond a single solution. They're buying into a system that will enable them to add more and more security services moving forward on the way to a full SSE solution. Right, so looking at cloud VPNs, it's pretty similar. Direct access is part of that solution, so that's not an advantage anymore, but we definitely want to talk about the backbone being an advantage, and the rest of the points are pretty much the same. Then when we're looking at ZTNA solutions, again, our solution really is simple. We always talk about radically simple network security and how our solution enables you as a partner to quickly onboard new customers, to deploy their solutions quickly and with minimal, effort and manpower and time, make changes in that deployment and, resolve issues. So you really get a solution that enables you to manage it and offer a much better service with minimal effort. And of course, customers get that value as well, getting a shorter time to value when they deploy with you. Performance we talked about, path to SSE, again, these are valid points here as well. So moving into the last category, that fully converged solution, SSE and SASE, where we see all of the big players, right? Zscaler is playing there, Palo Alto, Cato, Networks, Checkpoint, VMware, Cisco, pretty much anyone these days. So again, our solution is much simpler to set up and manage, which makes your life easier if you want to onboard new employees, into your IT team. That onboarding process will be much faster than having someone, learn how to use a Palo Alto solution, and, with other partners that are providing it. Meaning again that it can really optimize your workforce and provide much better value to your customers. There's no hardware involved. There are no connectors that are needed in cloud deployments. Really makes things simple and easy and fast. And it enables you to provide better SLAs. Again, any kind of change that a customer wants in their configuration, you will be able to provide that and do it much quicker and enable them that short SLA. And any issues come up, again, the solution enables that full visibility into all aspects of the network and will enable you to resolve any issues quickly. Right, so this is kind of a general look, again, at the different categories. I would like to talk about two specific vendors that do come up a lot, and I'm sure you come across in different opportunities. The first is Palo Alto Networks, one of the biggest and well-known vendors in the space and a strong contender in the SASE space. So when we look at Palo Alto and how we kind of stand versus them, in terms of time to value, I mentioned this before, and it's very true for Palo Alto. Our solution is quicker. You are able to actually use our system and deploy and onboard new customers within hours, while using Palo Alto, either they're using it directly or through a partner, it doesn't really matter. In any case, it will take days or weeks to set up their network. So you're able to be much faster, much nimbler, and get your customers up and running quickly. Ease of use, again, you need minimal training. Onboarding new employees to your IT team will enable you to get more done and provide much faster, much better solution to these end customers versus anyone using Palo Alto. POPs distribution, we have over 50 POPs deployed. Many of our data centers are self-managed, meaning we completely control that deployment. We have the ability to add new data centers wherever we want, new POP locations, versus Palo that are based on AWS and GCP and essentially are running their compute from 25 GCP POPs. So if you have a customer that is using AWS or Azure, they will not get optimal performance with a solution based on GCP. Well, our solution is really cloud agnostic and will enable optimal solution to any cloud environment. This is the cloud agnostic point. I mentioned this. Again, we don't rely on any single vendor. Wherever you need to connect to any private cloud, public cloud, any SaaS application deployed pretty much anywhere, we will provide fast connectivity to versus Palo. We provide dedicated private IP addresses for each one of the gateways that's set up in our solution. Palo Alto uses a pool of IP addresses that you need to choose from. That means that you can provide better security to customers because you can whitelist cloud resources and SaaS applications to only accept requests from these defined IPs, making the solution much more secure. This is very common practice in securing cloud workloads, and this is something we can provide. This is built in the solution. Lastly, we support the WireGuard protocol, which reduces, it improves bandwidth utilization by 15% and 20% lower latency, which means you are essentially providing better performance to your customers, and customers will get much faster and better user experience. So this has been Palo Alto. Moving to Zscaler. Yep, Rich.
No, I was going to say, as we get into Zscaler here, I'll let you obviously talk about the product differentiation, but the kind of key feedback we hear when we are going up against Zscaler, and this is coming from partners. So if those of you that are on the call today have heard this and have validated, that's good, is that two major things. One is the time to value, which obviously holds true for Palo Alto as well. But the second, more relevant to the channel, is that they're not channel friendly. Perimeter 81 is a channel-led company. We work with MSPs, VARs, trusted advisors, and everything we do and everything we've done and how we've built the product and how we go to market is with partners in mind. And so I can attest to that. We have the commitment of the leadership team who's actively involved with our partner and our go-to-market motion here. And so I've heard contradicting approaches when we're working with partners and Zscalers in the conversation. So it's really important to know that we're very easy to work with, and that's not always the case for our competitors from a channel perspective.
Absolutely, that is very true. And beyond the feedback, right, that what we're receiving, if anyone has seen the latest SSE Magic Quadrant from Gartner specifically says that Zscaler have become kind of very aggressive and not very friendly in general, and specifically for channels, in terms of being flexible and accommodating for different commercial requests. So that is validated also from Gartner. Right, moving into kind of more of the tech stuff, or the advantages we have versus Zscaler and the product itself. Ease of use, we mentioned this. Again, we can deploy solutions, can be done in 15 minutes, an hour or two. Doesn't really matter. It's really fast. Zscaler will always take you longer to deploy. Again, in terms of the MSP, obviously you can do more with less manpower and quicker, and obviously provide better value to customers. Dedicated private egress IP. We talked about this also with Palo. We provide dedicated IP addresses. With Zscaler, you don't have that option built in. WireGuard support, we talked about the better performance that you can deliver your customers with it, as opposed to IPsec or other VPN protocols. And with Zscaler, you need a connector to connect to public cloud environments where we don't require this, meaning we shorten deployments that are hybrid cloud or multi-cloud quite significantly. The effort is much less effort and much quicker time to get up and running. Right, so this is kind of a general overview, across the different capabilities and features. Obviously, we didn't dive here, into all the features and all the capabilities. Really wanted to provide, several main highlights for you guys to take with you and have in mind when you're having these conversations. So, you can use those in opportunities as they come up. From here, I would like to talk about a new release that we're coming out with. The official release will be 2 weeks from now for a solution called Hybrid SWG. So secure web gateways have been around for 10, 15 plus years already. There's really nothing new about secure web gateways. However, we have seen a lot of complaints about different aspects of existing SWG solutions that we thought about what can we do to improve on those and provide better performance. One of these, just connecting this to Zscaler and feedback that we've received, is that Zscaler, offering their SWG as a cloud service, the ZIA, the Zscaler Internet Access Solution, adds a lot of latency and really hurts application performance. So this is a complaint that comes up a lot. And we took all of the feedback that included and thought about, a solution that we can deliver that can overcome this. So to better understand this, let's talk about the SWG dilemma. And the question is, what is the best way to deploy Swig? The options that are available today are either an on-prem appliance, can be physical or VA appliance, doesn't really matter, but essentially you need to deploy it in each one of the office locations and maintain it. The second option, and obviously this is kind of where we're seeing the industry go, is a cloud-based solution, and this is Zscaler, ZIA, and pretty much all of the vendors out there, Palo Alto, Cato, and everyone else, anyone else we mentioned, will have the solution as well, a Swig running in the cloud. So these are really the two options. Now, if we go for option number one, an on-prem deployment, then first of all, it's a Swig appliance that you need to deploy, you need to maintain, you need to take care of security patches. You need to, if it's hardware, you need to refresh it, every few years for customers. It really makes the operation for you and customers more cumbersome. And additionally, beyond that, complexity that it adds in terms of performance, remote users that connect to a cloud application will need to go through an on-prem and office location to that Swig, then go back to the internet and reach the final destination. So we get that backhauling, or what is known as a trombone effect, which adds a lot of latency and really impacts performance. And these are the two main drawbacks of an on-prem deployment. As we said, the trend in the industry is going towards cloud-based Swigs. And what happens with the cloud-based Swig is that it runs in a cloud environment in a POP provided by your security service provider. But what happens when employees do not connect to the corporate network, do not go through the cloud service and browse directly to the internet? They're not protected. The Swig will not protect those users, meaning that a user can download malware, ransomware, any other malicious content to their endpoint, and that then can propagate once they connect to the corporate network, and propagate across that network and infect pretty much the entire network, specifically the applications, cloud applications and on-prem, and that's where the ransomware attack really can kick in and make create that damage. So we're leaving users unprotected, right? And it's either users are not connected to the cloud service, or specific use cases where applications are bypassed, meaning deliberately not sent through that cloud service. For example, bypassing Zoom traffic or other intensive traffic that you prefer not to have processed by your cloud service and create that congestion. Lastly, there's the issue of privacy. A Swig solution, in order to inspect traffic and get deeper insights, needs to decrypt that traffic, right? Needs to do an SSL interception through a kind of a man-in-the-middle attack. And what happens in a cloud environment is you do not know where that takes place. Usually, you might think it's the closest POP to where I am, but if that POP fails for any reason or is under, is going through maintenance, you will be directed to a different POP, which might be in a different country or even a different continent, and you will not even know, and then your traffic will be inspected there, decrypted and looked into, and then you have no control where that data center is and location is, and that can be a violation of GDPR or other types of, in Europe, or other types of restrictions that you might be violating, and that can expose you to different issues. So cloud deployments certainly have their drawbacks. So looking at specifically deployments that are SASE or SSE that converge remote access and the Swig into one entity, basically that means that you need to connect and purchase a ZTNA license in order to get that Swig service. And in many cases, companies might want to connect only a subset of the company to a ZTNA solution. Sometimes it's only the R&D team that you want to have that security. Other employees, not so much. Basically, that means if somebody from HR, for who you do not buy a ZTNA license, will not be able to get that Swig service. And that means that now you need to pay more. You need to purchase ZTNA for employees in your organization that you do not need and did not plan to buy ZTNA for. So either you pay for ZTNA, or you're just not protecting those users and exposing them to all the risks we talked about. So again, that's kind of a trap that you get with converged solutions. That is something that we solve with our solution. So what is hybrid Swig, and what actually do we offer? Hybrid Swig is hybrid because it runs in two different locations. It runs both on the agent, on the user's devices, and in a cloud environment, right? So as opposed to the on-prem Swig that we talked about, that is a device that you deploy in a local network, The client side of our hybrid swig solution is deployed on the device itself. It's part of the ZTNA agent. There's nothing additional you need to deploy if your agent is already, the ZTNA agent is already deployed on the device. And we perform all the inspection, the web filtering and the malware protection file inspection that is fully carried out on each one of these deployments on the devices. So even if you're not connected to the corporate network or traffic is bypassed or for whatever reason, you're browsing directly to the internet, you are always protected, regardless of which traffic you choose to send through the cloud network and which you do not. It solves the issue of direct access. There is no backhauling. It runs on the endpoint, even if you're connecting from home, right? So no need to backhaul traffic through anywhere. Ensures high performance for all employees. No hardware to deploy or maintain. We completely remotely manage those SWG instances on the devices. They're all managed and configured from our central management system, and the auto update anytime we need to do that. We protect bypass traffic, as I mentioned as well. All traffic is connected. If you're not connected to split tunnel, we perform the SSL decryption only on the client side, ensuring that it's in a safe location and environment of where that device is, and it's never done in an undisclosed or unknown location, exposing you to any kind of risk in terms of compliance. Additionally, you can deploy, you can deploy hybrid SWG as either only on the devices or only in the cloud or both, right? So you have that flexibility, and when you do run both, you have the ability to define rules on a network level for all users in the cloud, and then have more specific user or group-based or location-based rules that you define on the endpoint. So you get that multi-tier SWG protection when you're using this tandem approach where you have both the on-prem and the cloud SWG running together. So really, you're getting the best of both worlds. It solves all of the issues you have with traditional SWGs, and this is really a unique offering to Perimeter 81. And we've had initial discussions with quite a large number of customers, and the feedback is amazing. The issue, as I said before, with Zscaler having latency in their ZIA solution in their cloud environment is completely solved with this solution, and we're getting a lot of very positive feedback from Zscaler customers who this really opened their eyes. So this is about hybrid SWG. So from here, Rich, I'll give it back to you.
Thank you, Boaz. Great information. So 2 things I want to make everyone aware of. Partner office hours. We've done these. We're going to be kicking them off again. We are hitting a quick pause on them. They'll be relaunching here in the next couple of weeks. You'll see notifications and emails about it. The purpose of those will be technical in nature. It'll give partners the opportunity to join us on a weekly basis. One of our customer success engineers will be on. One of the people from our support team will be on. If you have specific questions on how to deploy a network, how to troubleshoot a specific thing within the network, whatever the case may be, this is the weekly time when you can join. So be on the lookout for that. Of course, if you have something outside of those hours, feel free to reach out to your channel partner manager, and we'll get you answers as quick as possible. Second, after a huge success in January, partners loved the kickoff that we did in January. It was so great. They've demanded that we do one halfway through the year. So as we like to do, we listen to our partners, we adjust, and we're doing a Summer Splash partner kickoff in July. We're going to give out awards. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be Perimeter 81 updates. There is going to be some really exciting guest speakers, which you'll hear about soon. So be on the lookout for that. We're excited to be able to do this again in July and give out more awards and tell you more about the product and updates. A lot of exciting things to announce during that. So look forward to the invite coming soon. And with that said, I will pause and I will open up the chat for any questions you have, whether it's for Boaz or myself. Let me take a look. Nothing quite yet. Okay. Here's one for me. Question is, will there be new spiffs for the second half of 2023? Good question. So the spiffs that I highlighted at the beginning are running through.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please say that again?
Apparently, Siri is very excited about the spiffs as well. So the spiffs that I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation are expiring at the end of June. You will have to join the Summer Splash kickoff in order to find out about second half incentives. So good question. My advice to you is be on the lookout for the invite and join in July, and you'll hear what we will be launching then. And we got one more here, and this one's for you, Boaz. How do I gain access to Hybrid Swig for my clients? What do I need to do? You're muted.
Sorry about that. So Hybrid Swig will be our new Swig offering. So essentially, any customer that opts for Swig, that you sign up for Swig, will actually be getting this new Hybrid Swig capability. So the answer is now. You can get it immediately, pretty much.
Good answer. Excellent. Those are the only questions I see in the chat. Thank you, everyone, for coming. Boaz, thank you as always. We appreciate the partnership and look forward to seeing you at some of our upcoming events and in the field and talking with you all soon. Have a good rest of the day, everyone. Take care.